My name is Tim Lynch. I'm an attorney here in Boston, and I am your host on MLGBA Legal Lines. Legal Lines is brought to you live every third Wednesday of every month at this time, 4 o'clock. The title of the program is MLGBA Legal Lines, so I thought today it would be a good opportunity to bring in one of the co-chairs of the MLGBA Association to explain exactly what MLGBA is. In the meantime, if you have any questions, I encourage you to call in and join our program. The number here is 617-708-3290. Again, 617-708-3290. And if you have caller ID block, remember you have to unblock it with *82. So my guest here today is David Epley. He is one of the two co-chairs of the MLGBA. David, how are you?
I'm doing great, Tim. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. David, what is MLGBA?
MLGBA is the Massachusetts Lesbian and Gay Bar Association. It was founded about 25 years ago or so, and we're here to serve the bar, the lawyers who are interested in gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender issues, who are LGBT themselves, and to frankly provide a safe place and a space, a community space for the gay bar to meet.
So it's the Massachusetts Lesbian and Gay Bar Association.
Correct.
And next year will be the 25th year of the association?
That's right.
So it's a big dinner,
Yes.
dinner for our association. And I should disclose that I'm a member of the board and have been for about 10 years. And so first of all, how many lawyers are part of this association? And what do they do?
Yep. Tim, there are about 300 attorneys who are members of the association, and they are across the state, across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We also have law students. There are some judges who are members of the association. And frankly, it runs the gamut in terms of the practice areas. I mean, just like doctors have different practice areas, you know, an ophthalmologist, a heart surgeon, or a general practitioner, lawyers are similar in that we each have many times our own specialties, our own areas that we practice in. I myself am a family attorney, a divorce attorney, and I know that you practice personal injury law. And there are other folks just within our board who practice in many different fields: corporate work, general litigation. So it runs the gamut, and it also runs the gamut in terms of the where people work. Our members work for the state in state agencies. My colleague Jane Rothschild is an attorney at the Department of Environmental Protection for the state, and so she works for the government. There are other state attorneys who are members of our association. Anyone who is a prosecutor, for example, would be a state attorney as well. And then there are other attorneys who work within the court system. Of course, there are judges who work for the courts in the Commonwealth. And then there are private attorneys, and that's the vast majority of our members are from the private bar. And they can be they'll practice across the state, whether that's in Provincetown or Pittsfield or Boston or anywhere in between. And as I said, there are all sorts of different practice areas.
So the MLGBA, when we tell the viewing audience exactly what do we do as far as, you know, LBT issues and how we interact with, for example, the court system, sure, the state legislature, and things like that.
Sure. We are a bar association, so we're here to support our own lawyers and so forth, but we absolutely do advocacy work. Certainly on briefs for the court, they're called amicus briefs, which are friend of the court briefs that are filed in both the Massachusetts Appellate Court, the Appeals Court, and also the Supreme Judicial Court, which are, the Supreme Judicial Court is the highest court here in Massachusetts, and we will either members of our organization will draft amicus briefs on their own with our support, or we'll partner with law firms, or we'll work with other agencies like GLAAD, for example, Gay and Lesbian Advocates and Defenders, to assist in filing amicus briefs. We also are, so a good example of that would be obviously the Goodrich decision from a few years ago. We'd signed on to one of the major amicus briefs for that particular litigation. We've been involved in co-parent adoption back in the early 90s, I believe, is when that originally came around, and that actually was litigated by a former co-chair of our organization and a family lawyer. So it's been part and parcel to what we do, is certainly within the courts.
And if I can stop you there, also we work with the major bar associations and getting them on board on these briefs.
That's exactly right. We have a very good partnership with the Boston Bar Association and the Massachusetts Bar Association as well. And frankly, the diversity bars, the Massachusetts Black Lawyers Association, the Massachusetts Association of Hispanic Attorneys, the South Asian Bar Association of Greater Boston, and the Asian American Lawyers Association of Massachusetts. It's a mouthful, but a lot of really good attorneys of people of color, and also the Women's Bar Association and the Mass Association of Women Lawyers. So you name it, the different populations have different bar associations that we certainly partner with, and many, and if not most, of those organizations we have partnered with in the past on LGBT issues, but also on similar diversity issues as well. We will partner with them on various issues.
And these issues could be the gamut of things. I mean, you mentioned Goodrich,
yep,
in which we worked with the Mass Bar Association, the Boston Bar Association. But I mean, anything dealing with employment discrimination,
absolutely,
transgender.
Tim, the most recent example of that would be our work with the Massachusetts Transgender Political Coalition, the MTPC. We are one of the core partners, actually, in trying to ensure that there's passage of Bill 1728, which is for public accommodations and also hiring and firing of individuals who happen to be transgender. We're wanting to make sure that we have a level playing field for our transgender population.
So not only do we partner with other bar associations, but with other groups, including GLAAD.
Including MTPC, and also Mass Equality. Mass Equality has been, when Mass Equality was founded just a few years ago, we were one of the core partners in the formation of Mass Equality. We continue to be a very strong partner to Mass Equality. Frankly, MLGBA has been around a long time, and we work in the background a lot of times. We don't get a lot of press, and that's okay. We're there essentially to help out and to facilitate, exactly, to connect, frankly, to connect lawyers into that process, gay and lesbian lawyers into that process, to assist the various advocacy organizations, and also to partner those advocacy organizations with our fellow bar associations and make natural connections. And that's been